Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Fat Guy Reads. I'm the Fat Guy, and today we are going to be reading chapters 9 through 12 of my Immortal. So, where we last left off, believe it or not, more happened probably in these last 4 chapters than the first, so Ebony and Draco got caught fornicating in the Forbidden Forest. I'll say that 3 times fast. Pretty much got away with it. We were introduced to Harry Potter. His name's now Vampire. We were also introduced to Hermione, who is now named B. Bloody Mary Smith. Both of them are vampires. B. Luddy is definitely a Slytherin. I don't know if Harry is or not. I wouldn't be surprised, but anyway, Draco's into our hero, Ebony, Darkness, Dementia, Ravenway. I can say that from memory now. And Vampire is also. So imagine Vampire's surprise when she once again makes out with Draco and sees a tattoo with Vampire's name on it. Now, I would think that maybe he just loves the idea of vampires, or he loves being a vampire. I don't know. I don't even know if he's a vampire. It's very hard to tell, but Ebony did not take this well. She confronted Vampire in Snape's class and eventually ran off crying into the Forbidden Forest, which, as you know, is forbidden. This is like the second time she's going there. Yeah, there's just so much to say, but so much ahead. So let's just get right into it. Starting with, of course, an author's note. These are becoming some of my favorites to read. These are by far like the worst. You can tell the author had no help with these author's notes. I have a feeling that once we start to see Raven, I guess, who's kind of like the ghost writer, go away, that we're going to be in for some prose like this. Stop flaming, okay? I didn't read all the books. This is from the movie, okay? So it's not my fault if Dumbledore swears. Beswized. I said he had a headache. And the reason Snap doesn't lick Harry now is cause he's Christian and Vampire is a Satanist. MCR rocks! Wow. We got a couple things out of that. Snape is a Christian. As I suspected, the author did not read the books. Dumbledore apparently still has a headache. So, wow. And I hope these asides don't bother anyone. I just, I can't help it. Like, I just feel like I can't leave some of this stuff hanging. But, maybe that will change in the future. We'll see. Chapter 9. I was so mad and sad. I couldn't believe Draco for cheating on me. I began to cry against the tree where I did it with Draco. Then, all of a suddenly, an horrible man with red eyes and no nose and everything started flying towards me on a broomstick. He didn't have a nose, basically like Voldemort in the movie, and he was wearing all black, but it was obvious he wasn't gothic. It was Voldemort! No! I shouted in a scared voice, but then Voldemort shouted, Imperious! And I couldn't run away. Crookshanks! I shouted at him. Not a spell, but okay. Voldemort fell off his broom, and started to scream. I felt bad for him, even though I'm a sadist, so I stopped. Ebony, he yelled, Thou must kill Vampire Potter! I thought about Vampire and his sexaw eyes and his gothic black hair and how his face looks just like Joel Madden. I remember that Draco had said I didn't understand, so I thought, what if Draco went out with Vampire before I went out with him and they broke up? Reasonable conclusion to probably have reached before. No, Voldemort, I shouted back. Voldemort gave me a gun. No, please, I begged. Thou must, he yelled. If thou does not, then I shall kill thy beloved Draco. How did you know? I asked in a surprised way. Voldemort got a dude, you're so retarded look on his face. I have telekinesis, he answered cruelly. And if you doth not kill a vampire, then thou know what will happen to Draco, he shouted. Then he flew away angrily on his broomstick. I was so scared and mad I didn't know what to do. Suddenly, Draco came into the woods. Draco, I said. Hi! Hi, he said back, but his face was all sad. He was wearing white foundation and messy eyeliner, kind of like a pentagram. Get it? Between Joel Madden and Gerard Way. Are you okay? I asked. No, he answered. I'm sorry I got all mad at you, but I thought you cheated on me, I expelled. That's okay, he said, all depressed, and we went back into Hogwarts together, making out. Chapter 10. Oh, God. I just have to point out, once again, this is all the author saying this. I'm just reading it for historical purposes. I know that sounds stupid, but trust me, I'm really not happy about this. I just I don't know. This really isn't okay. Author's note. Stop it, you gay fags. If you do not like my story, then fuck off. P.S. It turns out B. Bloody Mary isn't a muggle afert all, and she and Vampire are evil. That's why they moved houses, okay? Chapter 10. I was really scared about Voldemort all day. I was even upset, went to rehearsals with my gothic metal band, Bloody Gothic Road 666. I am the lead singer of it and play guitar. People say that we sound like a good, that we sound like a cross between GC, Slipknot, and MCR. The other people in the band are B. Bloody Mary, Vampire, Draco, Ron, although we call him Diabolo now. He has black hair with blue streaks in it. And Hargrid! Wow. Only today, Draco and Vampire were depressed, so they weren't coming, and we wrote songs instead. I knew Draco was probably slitting his wrists. He wouldn't die because he was a vampire too, and the only way you can kill a vampire is with a CROS. There's no way I'm writing that. Or a steak. It is spelled like the meat steak, by the way. And Vampire was probably watching a depressing movie like The Corpse Bride. I put on a black leather shirt that showed off my boobs and tiny matching miniskirt that said, Simple Plan on the butt. You might think I'm a slut, but I'm really not. We were singing a cover of Helena, and at the end of the song I suddenly burst into tears. Ebony, are you okay? B. Bloody Mary asked in a concerted voice. What the fuck do you think? I asked angrily. And then I said, well, Voldemort came and the fucking bastard told me to fucking kill Harry. But I don't want to kill him because he's really nice, even if he did go out with Draco. But if I didn't kill Harry, then Voldemort will fucking kill Draco. I burst into tears. Suddenly Draco jumped out from behind a wall. Why didn't you fucking tell me? He shouted. How could you fucking poser muggle bitch! C, is Dad out of character? I started to cry and cry. Draco started to cry too, all sensitive. Then he ran out crying. We practiced for 1 more hour. Then suddenly Dumbledore walked in all angrily. His eyes were all fiery, and I knew this time it wasn't because he had a headache. What have you done? He started to cry wisely. See, Dad's basically nut swearing, and this time he was really upset, and you will see why. Ebony Draco has been found in his room. He committed suicide by slitting his wrists. Which I just said wouldn't cause him to die because he's a vampire, but I don't know. Maybe this is like one of those Goosebumps chapter endings where she's like, oh no, but then she remembers what she just said, like in the same chapter, and everything will be okay. I don't know. Hagrid's in the band. I'm sorry, Hagrid is in the band. Ron has been introduced also as Diabolo. I guess I'm assuming just everyone's a vampire, unless they're Snape, who's a Christian, and Dumbledore, who I guess he doesn't have a headache. Anyway, let's read the next author's notes. I said, stop flaming up, preps. See if this chapter is Srupid 1111. It deals with really serious issues. SPC for yourself if it's stupid. BRW, thanks to my friend Raven for hlepping me. I don't think Raven hlepped her enough. No! I screamed. I was horrified. Bloody Mary tried to comfort me, but I told her, fuck off, and I ran to my room crying myself. Dumbledore chased after me shouting, but he had to stop when I went into my room because he would look like a perv that way. Anyway, I started crying tears of blood, and then I slit both my wrists. They got all over my clothes, so I took them off and jumped into the bath angrily while I put on a Linkin Park song at full volume. I grabbed a steak, again the meat, and almost stuck it into my heart to commit suicide. I was so fucking depressed. I got out of the bathtub and put on a black low-cut dress with lace all over it sandally. I put on black high heels with pink metal stuff on the ends and 6 pairs of skull earrings. I couldn't fucking believe it. Then I looked out the window and screamed. Snap was spying on me, and he was taking a videotape of me, and Lupin was masticating to it. Oh my god. Wow. They were sitting on their broomsticks. Ew, you fucking pervs! Stop looking at me naked! Are you pedos or what? I screamed, putting on a black towel with a picture of Marilyn Mason on it. Suddenly, Vampire ran in. Abracadabra! He yelled at Snape and Lupin pointing his womb. I took my gun. Oh no! I took my gun and shot Snape and Lupin a gazillion times, and they both started screaming, and the camera broke. Suddenly, Dumbledore ran in. Ebony, it has been revealed that someone has... No! He shouted, looking at Snape and Lupin, and then he waved his wand, and suddenly... Hagrid ran outside on his broom and said, everyone, we need to talk. What's going on? What do you know, Hagrid? You're just a little Hogwarts student. I may be a Hogwarts student, Hagrid paused angrily, but I am also a Satanist! Woo! This cannot be, Snap said in a crisp voice, as blood dripped from his hand where Dumbledore's wand had shot him. There must be other factors. You don't have any, I yelled in madly. Lupin held up the camera triumphantly. The lens may be ruined, but the tape is still there! I felt faint. More than I normally do, like how it feels when you do not drink enough blood. Why are you doing this? Lupin said angrily while he rubbed his dirty hands on his cloak. And then I heard the words that I had heard before, but not from him. I did not know whether to feel shocked and happy or to bite him and drink his blood because I felt faint. Because, Hagrid said, and he paused in the air dramatically, waving his wand in the air. Then he swooped in, singing to the tune of a gothic version of a song by 50 Cent. Because you're gothic? Snape asked in a little afraid voice. Because he was afraid it meant he was connected with Satan. Because I love her! Chapter 12, Author's Notes. Stop F,A-ing, okay, Hagrid is a pedo. To a lot of people in American schools are licked at. I wanted to address the issue. How do you know Snape, Eont Christian? Plus, Hagrid isn't really in love with Ebony. That was Cedric, okay? There's a lot to unpack there. This story has officially gone off the rails. Can't make sense of it. I'm just going to keep reading through it. I was about to slit my wrists again with the silver knife that Drago had given me in case anything happened to him. He had told me to use it valiantly against an enemy, but I knew that we both must go together. No! I thought it was Hagrid, but it was Vampire. He started to scream, OMFG, no! My scar hurts! And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. I stopped. How did you know? I saw it, and my scar turned back into the lightning bolt. No! I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted. I do, but Diabolo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always covered up with foundation, he said back. Anyway, my scar hurt, and it turned back into the lightning bolt. Save me! Then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him bondage! Anyway, I was in the school nurse's office now recovering from my slit wrists. Snap and Lupin and Hagrid were there too. They were going to St. Mango's after they recovered because they were pedophiles, and you can't have those fucking pervs teaching in a school with lots of hot girls. So I thought Hagrid was a student, but I guess I just don't know anymore. Dumbledore had constipated the video camera they took of me naked. I put up my middle finger at them. Anyway, Hagrid came into my hospital bed holding a bouquet of pink roses. Ebony, I need to tell you something, he said in a V-serious voice, giving me the roses. Fuck off, I told him. You know I fucking hate the color pink anyway, and I don't like fucked up preps like you, I snapped. Hagrid had been mean to me before for being gothic. Yeah, even though they're in the same band as each other, but... Okay. No, Ebony, Hagrid says. Those are not roses. What, are they goths to you, poser prep? I asked because I was angry that he had brought me pink roses. I saved your life, he yelled angrily. No, you didn't, I replied. You saved me from getting a Paris Hilton pee video made from your shower scene and being vooed by Snap and Lupin, who masturbated, see, is that spelled wrong? Yes. To it, he added silently. Whatever, I yelled angrily. He pointed his wand at the pink roses. These aren't roses. He suddenly looked at them with an evil look in his eye and muttered, Well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say. That's not a spell. That's an MCR song, I corrected him wisely. I know. I was just warming up my vocal cords. Then he screamed, Petulus Marengo mi cremlicli romacio. For all you cool gothic MCR fans out there, that is a tribute. Especially for Raven. I love you, girl. Emo noto okeo. And then the roses turned into a huge black flame floating in the middle of the air. And it was black. Now I knew he wasn't a prep. Okay, I believe you. Now WTF is Draco? Hairgrid rolled his eyes. I looked into the balls of flame, but I could see nothing. You see, Enemy... Oh, sorry, that's not Hairgrid. That's Dumbledore. You see, Enemy, Dumbledore said, watching the two of us watching the flame. To see what is in end of flims. Ha ha, you reviewers flames, get it? You must find yourself first, Kay. I have found myself, okay, you mean old man? Hagrid yelled. Dumbledore looked shocked. I guess he didn't have a headache, or else he would have said something back. Hagrid stormed off back into his bed. You're a liar, Professor Dumbledore! Wow, this is a long chapter. Anyway, when I got better, I went upstairs and put on a black leather mini dress that was all ripped on the ends with lace on it. There was some corset stuff on the front. Then I put on black fishnets and black high-heeled boots with pictures of Billy Joe Armstrong on them. I put my hair all out around me so I looked like Samara from The Ring. If you don't know who she is, you're a prep, so fuck off. And I put on blood red lipstick, black eyeliner, and black lip gloss. Excuse me, I need to take a drink of this Gatorade. This chapter's exhausting. Every other one was like maybe 5 minutes to read. This one, this is already the longest video, even with that long ass intro at the beginning of the first one. But anyway, let's finish this up. You look kawaii, girl. Bloody Mary said sadly. Fangs, get it? You do too, I said sadly too, but I was still upset. I slit both of my wrists, feeling totally depressed, and I sucked all the blood. I cried again in my bathroom, and put the shades on so Snap and Lupin couldn't spy on me this time. I went to some classes. Vampire was in the hair of magic creatures. He looked all depressed because Draco had disappeared, and he had used to be in love with Draco. He was sucking some blood from a Hufflepuff. Wow. Hi, he said in a depressed way. Hi back, I said in an wookly sad way. We both looked at each other for some time. Harry had beautiful red gothic eyes, so much like Draco's. Then we jumped on each other and started screwing each other. Stop it now, you horny simpletons! Shouted Professor McGonagall, who was watching, and so was everyone else. Vampire, you fucker, I said, slapping him. Stop trying to screw me. You know I loved Draco, I shouted, and then I ran away angrily. Just then he started to scream, OMFG! No! My skull hurts! And then his eyes rolled up. You can only see his red whites. No! I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore. I do, but Diabolo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation, he said back. That sounds familiar. Anyway, my scar hurt, and then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him bondage! Wow. What a fitting way to end the chapter. She put in the same section twice in the same chapter. Right about this time is probably when Raven stopped helping her. Or, I don't know, maybe they're both just terrible at this, but I can't believe I spent almost 30 minutes reading this. I really don't know what to say. Chapters 11 and 12 were just such a trip. And I just want to point out again, this wasn't something I invented. This was something that someone earnestly meant to be, I guess, meaningful fan fiction. It's probably not for Harry Potter fans. I don't know. It's like there's too much changing of the lore to really be for Harry Potter fans, but there's too much stuff that's not like MCR or whatever to be appealing to people of that genre. And I mean, I'm serious when I say she just pauses the story every now and then to just, I guess, let us know that she's goth. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. This was a lot longer than I thought it would be, but we are now up to chapter 13. We have 31 chapters to go. I just cannot believe that. And hope you're enjoying the new series. If you have any comments, even anything else you'd like me to read after this, please let me know. I am open to anything. I want to make this new series work. I want to try some new things on the channel. Until next time, take care.